Hi, and welcome to Unit 6, Day 2. This is Part 3, the Unit 6, Day 3 preview. So in the next class, we are going to learn and practice on how to convert from mass to moles and moles to mass using our molar mass, which we learned about in this lesson. Now, there are many different mathematical strategies that one can use to do this conversion. For example, you can use a plug and chug method by plugging in values into an equation solving. You can also set up proportions to solve. We are going to be learning what's known as dimensional analysis. Now, before I go into what dimensional analysis is, you may start to wonder, why are we using this method? Is there an easier way? So first, I'm going to go over some pros and cons with you. Let's start off with the con. The one thing about dimensional analysis is that it's not very conceptual. So when you do dimensional analysis, it doesn't necessarily reinforce your understanding of the relationship between mass and moles because it's sort of hidden by these fractions. However, the pros are the following. First, it's efficient. You're pretty much doing the same thing each time, and once you get used to the structure and the procedure, you'll be able to do it without really thinking. And even if a problem is really complex, you pretty much kind of know how to navigate it with dimensional analysis. The other thing that's important about dimensional analysis is that it actually gives you practice with fractions, and that's something that most of us, if not all of us, could use. So what is dimensional analysis? It's a mathematical technique used to convert from a given value to the value you want to find. Now, the way that this works is that your given value will be multiplied by a conversion factor, and that's how you get your find value. So I like to think of the dimensional analysis as sort of a machine with an engine that's your conversion factor. And in this machine, you're going to put in your given. So that goes in the machine. And then out of the machine is your find. So that conversion factor sort of transforms your given into your find. So key point or key part of that dimensional analysis machine, of course, is that conversion factor. So let's take a deeper dive into what that is. So specifically in this unit, the conversion factor will come from the mole map, which is something that we've been looking at. And the conversion factor will be expressed as a fraction. So it'll have a numerator and a denominator. And you'll see why it has that in a moment. Now, the conversion factor only works to convert from your given to your find if it's set up correctly. Now, in order for it to be set up correctly, you have to focus on the units. So you're actually not focusing so much on the numbers to set it up, you're focusing on the units that you're trying to convert to and from. And when it's set up correctly, the given units must cancel out. So whatever you're given, the units for that value must cancel out. And then whatever you're trying to find, those units must remain. You must be able to keep those units in the end. So let's talk about how we sort of set up a one-step conversion. One step just has one calculation, one multiplication. So the first thing is you're always going to start by writing your given over 1, and that's to make it into a fraction. It sort of makes the math that you're doing easier. So you write given over 1 to make it into a fraction. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to multiply by your conversion factor. Now in setting this up, it's important that in your conversion factor, the units that you want to find must be on the top and in the numerator, and the units that you want to, that you're given must be in the denominator. And this is so that they'll cancel out, and we'll see that in a moment. Now, when you multiply your given and your conversion factor, this will give you your find. So that simple multiplication will give you your find. Now, the reason why this works is because when you multiply fractions, things that are in opposite positions, so something that's in the numerator, like my given's in the numerator over here, and then it's in the denominator in the second fraction, things that are in opposite positions will cancel out. And that's what you want in this case. You want the given units to cancel out because you're trying to get rid of those and convert that into your find. So let's take a look at a quick example. In this example, it asks, how much does 1.20 moles of NH3 weigh? So we're trying to convert, in this case, from the moles. We're given 1.20 moles to its mass. When it says weigh, they're talking about mass. And the conversion factor, as I said, will come from the mole map. Now you see we're going from moles, which is in the center here, to mass, and along that route is the molar mass. So that's how we're going to convert them. And we know that 1 mole is equal to the molar mass in grams. So what our conversion factor in this case is going to be 1 mole is equal to the molar mass of NH3, which is 17.04 grams. Now to solve it, I'm going to do my setup. So given over 1 times my conversion factor fraction will give me my find. So my given is 1.20 moles. I'm going to go ahead and set it over 1 to make it into a fraction. Then I'm going to multiply it by the conversion factor. Now in this case, I'm given my units, my given units are in moles. So go into my conversion factor, that 1 mole I want to be in the denominator. And the 17.04 grams I want to be in the numerator, so that way they can cancel out. So it will look like this: 17.04 grams, which is what I'm trying to find, the unit I'm trying to find, grams, goes on top, and then the moles go on the bottom so that they can cancel out. Now that they've canceled out, when I multiply the values, I will get my find of 20.4 grams. So that means that 1.20 moles of NH3 will weigh 20.4 grams. So tomorrow what we're going to do in class is we're going to review and practice these mass to moles conversions. Now, some of you aren't huge fans of math and some of you are, so don't worry whether or not you enjoy math or not. You're going to be able to do this, and you kind of have to, because most of this unit, and in fact next unit, will also be doing the same problems. So we'll do a lot of practice to make sure we're super prepared. All right, that's it for this video, folks. Have a quality day.